All right, Edward-Isaac Dovere is the chief Washington correspondent for Politico. He joins me now from Washington. Isaac, let us get right into this. I want to get your reaction to sort of this trilogy here. First, the tweet about expanding the nuclear arsenal here in the United States. Then the statement he gave to MSNBC, let it be an arms race. And then the follow-up clarification from Sean Spicer. Your take on this whole thing?
Well, let me add another one into the conversation here. Last night, Kellyanne Conway, who was his campaign manager and is now going to be a senior counselor to the president, said on another program on MSNBC that let's not get ahead of ourselves talking about an arms race. So we have 4 different versions of what's going on. 2 of those versions are from the president-elect himself. It is not clear what the position is or where it would lead to, but of course we're talking about nuclear war, which is not a topic that most people take lightly. It should also be said that we could have an arms race on nuclear weapons, but the United States capacity for what we have already on nuclear weapons is enough to destroy the planet several times over.
Right. It doesn't take much, I don't think. Certainly critics are sounding the alarm about, what they see as perhaps cavalier language regarding nuclear weapons. But I'm wondering, is there an argument for this type of rhetoric?
Well, what we see from the president-elect and from even those comments that you played of Sean Spicer, who will be the press secretary at the White House, is a sense of unpredictability that the Trump team likes to nurture, that Trump himself likes to nurture, and not letting anybody make a claim without making a bigger claim. So that seems to be the sense that they're going for here, that they will not let anybody ever pin them down on a position. It should also be noted, we've got Russia and Vladimir Putin making very similar comments about expanding their nuclear arsenal, which seems to have maybe prompted some of what Trump said. Some people think that there's potentially an alignment of how they're talking about this. It could have been agreed on somehow. We don't know if that's true. It's not clear what's happening, but again, nuclear war, nuclear weapons, nuclear arsenal, these are usually not things that we just toss around as rhetoric and as big claims, but are things that have serious policy implications, not only for our relationship with Russia, but relationship with countries all over the world, places including North Korea, where we have as a country, been working with other countries in the region around North Korea to try to get them to ratchet back from nuclear development, of course with Iran, with others, for the goal for the United States and foreign policy on nuclear weapons for the last several decades has been to get other countries to pull back and to have the United States itself pull back from making nuclear weapons. It seems like we're now going in the other direction on that.
Yeah, it certainly sounds like that. And that this is not the first time this week alone that Donald Trump's team has sort of been sent scrambling to clarify a statement that he made. Earlier this week, he seemed to make sort of almost an off-the-cuff comment that seemed to reinforce his Muslim ban. He was talking about the attack in Berlin. He says, look, you've known my plans all along. I was 100% correct talking about the terrorist attack. Right. Isn't it about time maybe we had a formal press conference where people could ask follow-up questions and we can get clarification all at one time instead of things sort of trickling over 48 hours or so? And why do you think that hasn't happened yet?
I think we're hitting about 150 days since the last time Donald Trump had a press conference. He has not had any kind of press conference, of course, since he was elected president. To contrast that, most president-elects in the last few have had press conferences during their transition time. President Obama, since the election, has had 5 press conferences. These are opportunities, and I was at the one last week, asked a question or 2 of the president. There are opportunities to not only ask follow-up questions, ask questions that the president might not be expecting, might not have a prepared answer for, and we get to see what they actually think about things or how they're talking through things. We have not seen that with Donald Trump. We just get these tweets, which are to his team, and the way that he puts it is a way of hearing directly from him. But of course, we're only hearing what he is prepared to say, and not any explanation, not any follow-up, not any fuller sense of what it is he's talking about.
Yeah, and there's a sort of a conflict. We know what the president-elect is saying. We know what he said in his own words in his tweets or whatever sort of comments he throws out. And then we know what his team has said and whose voice should we really be listening to, or who should we be taking more seriously, them or him?
And he said during the campaign at one point that when there were sources who were talking about him and the campaign to various reporters, that the only person that matters is him. And that's fine if that's the way that he's going to go about it, but it does seem like as the person who is now going to be the President of the United States, who is making decisions that will affect everyone's lives, not only in this country but around the world, that it makes sense to hear a little bit more than just the couple of words at a time that he is saying.
Right.
Of course, the comments that he made to Mika Brzezinski about let it be an arms race were said off camera in a phone conversation. We don't know exactly what else was said in that conversation or how that was prepared.
Right, we don't know the full context there.
That's right.
Yeah. All right, Politico's Edward-Isaac Dovere, thank you very much.
Thank you.